to show you how to install a couple new plugins for your Bukkit server. Now, quick note on my previous video when I actually set up the Bukkit server with you guys. When you try to run your server now, since you're using the development build, when you try to run your server, it's going to warn you that there's a new version out. Before all the error messages, it's going to say that version 1.3.1 or 1.0 build is out, which is the official recommended build, which a lot of people have been using. So what you want to do is you want to copy this download link into your browser, into your internet browser. So let's go here, punch bar, paste it in, and it's going to download the jar. So you may want to create another, well, first of all, stop your server. Now the first thing you want to do is you may want to create your own, another folder for this new one. So we'll just name this 1.3 official Bukkit. And drag and open that up. Do the same thing we did last time. Drag in the jar. CraftBukkit jar. You don't need Safari. Rename it CraftBukkit. Double click. Open. While it's generating the files, we don't have to go in and regenerate the start command. We can actually just go over to our old server and copy that and drag that in, because all it's doing is recognizing the same thing, saying to launch the jar as a certain executable file, which it basically is. And now you can even copy over your worlds if you want to. You can, but you can copy over like all the other stuff, properties and other stuff. I'll copy mine over since I port forwarded on the different port. Link to that one here. So now let's copy over our plugin directory since we've installed the Essentials plugin already. But some of the plugins aren't really updated for 1.3 yet. When they are updated, you'll get a message in your server console that they are. So we don't really need the old one. We can actually drag that away to the trash. So now back to the actual tutorial. So the first plugin that we want to check out is something called Auto Announcer, and what it does is it announces things out to the server. It's like the broadcast command for the Essentials, but it's really anonymous and it automatically announces. I've tried finding one of these announcer plugins like this before, but this is the best one that I found, and it works very well. Now, before we go over and start downloading the plugin, we'll need something else first called Vault. And Vault is basically an API that gives plugins easy hook to these systems without needing to blah blah blah. You can read all the stuff to basically what it is, but all I know is that it makes it run. So the first thing I want to do is click download here. By the way, link for everything is going to be in the description. And download again. Downloaded. And let's drag this into the plugins folder. And now Vault is installed. Now let's download Auto Announcer as well. So you just click download, and then download. Move it down. Drag it in. Okay. We don't need Safari. Now everything is installed. We can go back and run the server. Let's make this a bit bigger so we don't get everything scrunched up. Now, as you can see, it says Auto Announcer is enabled, and you won't get any nasty error messages. So let's jump over to my other computer on Minecraft and log into the server and see what's going on. Hey guys, so as you can see, I am on my server, and you see how my name is red here when I type in the word test? That means I'm an operator, or OP. You can do this by typing in on the server console /OP space and then your name, but I'm not going to do it again since I'm already opt. So now you may ask, well, why you have to opt yourself? Well, in order to view the Auto Announcer commands by default without modifying the configuration file or anything, only ops can use them for now. You can change that so everybody can use them. Not a very smart idea. So let's do the Auto Announcer command. Oh, announcer help, I think that's what it is. There we go. So as you can see, there's a couple options already. The first one is the announcer help, so it's just message. Announcer on, it starts it. Announcer off, stops it. Very useful if you want to change the messages. Announcer restart, useful if you're changing it. The interval, announcer interval, that changes how often each message or string will be put up will be broadcast to the server. You can do minutes or seconds. That'll be set in the configuration, which I'll just get to in a moment. And the announcer random. I'm not sure what that does, but that probably just randomly puts out the server messages and stuff. So let's go back to our my other computer and let's set some set some announcements. Okay, now that we're back here, let's minimize our server window and head over to Plugins, Auto Announcer, Settings, .yml. Oh, sorry about those. And now we'll get this really quick little section here. So I'll go line by line. So the interval in minutes, and the second line, and the first and second line really go hand in hand. If you set this one to true, and save it, it's going to say, oh, by the way, the interval is 5 seconds. But if you set this to false, it's going to say it's 5 minutes. So let's do it to false instead of 2, I don't know, 1 minute. The random, I'm still not sure what that does. The permissions, I leave this on false, so only operators can use this because it's probably the safest one. And so the announcer, this is the actual tag, like you saw in the screenshot on the Bukkit dev page. This is what comes up before the actual thing. So what I'm gonna do is I will set this to a asterisk because I don't know why I just like asterisks. So there we go. Certain groups of permissions, false to all, false because this is kind of useful if you really want to like say only all the announcements could only one group, like default or something, so the admins don't get bothered by that. These are the groups. This section's only default if this is set to true, and here are the strings. Now, if you also remember on that page, there is the there was the little color chart there, and that's basically what the dark red stuff is. You can set that. I think the alternative is a 3, or dark red is just a longer version. So you can customize these to anything you want. So I'll just delete both of these. They're rather long and annoying. So we do 1. Okay. So we do dash space quote and the color we want. Let's say and 6, and then we'll type in the message we want. This is let's say this is a test of the announcer. The little joke, emergency alert system. And now we'll just leave that there. You can add more if you want, but I'll just have 1 for now. Save. Go back to our console. And type it in. Announcer. Reload. It'll reload the announcer. And now it recognizes that we changed it so it only goes under 1 minute. And it's also announced that remember that we only have 1 announcement, which is, this is test the emergency alert system. So let's jump back to my other computer and check that out. Hey guys, so wow, right when I started recording, it came up with the announcer message. So as you can see, the message comes up in orange instead of red. We must have gotten the color code wrong. And as you can see also, the tag before the name is not the announcer bracket. Within brackets is now an asterisk like I specified in the configuration file before. So you can customize those to anything you want, but there is an important fact to remember. There's 2 facts. Only operators can use these unless you alter the permissions, and the interval that you set it. It only sets, like, let's say I have another one that says this is the test the emergency broadcast system, one before the emergency alert system. Every time you set the interval like 1 minute for me, after the first minute, this one will go, and then the next minute, the next message will go. In order to prevent stuff like that, like let's say you want to have one big long message, you can use like a new line operator or something like that, which will allow you to use like one really long message in different colors and formats and whatever. And it's barely been another minute and printed out the other message. So that's how you do it. Now let's move on to our next plugin. Hey guys, okay, so the next plugin that I'll show you today is the plugin and application called Adminium. It lets you control your server from every single aspect of it, from your iPhone, iPod Touch, or iPad. Now, if you go to the website adminiumapp.com, you can view all the stuff on there: screenshots, reviews, setup guides, all that stuff. And if you head over and you could, we're going to download this in a moment. But if you click here, it's going to take you to the iTunes store, and as you can see, the app is $10, but trust me, it's worth it. Now, if we go down to the setup guide here on the Iminium app website, we can. It says you can find the Iminium server builder. If you click this, and then you'll get this cute little build a server for Adminium. So you got to choose username and password. So I'll just do server. The password will be server. And server. It's temporary. So the port. Now, this is not the same port that you're using for the, that you changed earlier when we were port forwarding. Like mine, if I'm running like several servers, I'm not going to change this port to 25569. That's it. Then it's going to interfere and it's going to crash. This is going to be the port in which Adminium communicates to the server, and yeah, so you can change. So if you're having multiple Iminium instances, if you want to, yeah, so I'm just gonna leave it like it is. So if you want to have like multiple servers with Adminium, you could alter that, but you could alter that later on. So these extras here, the first one is Remote Toolkit. This is to turn your server on and off from Adminium. You can still do this without it, but the reason why I'm gonna uncheck it, it's because when you'll see in a moment. Dynmap, very cool plugin. You view server maps. You could view the map of the server, 3D or 2D, but you have to port forward on port 8123. CraftBukkit, we've already set up a CraftBukkit server, so you don't need to check that. So you click Build. It's gonna download it, and let's open it up. Okay, here we go. So we don't need Safari. Okay, so as you can see, there are quite a few things here. The first one is the arcadekit.jar. You want to drag that in. But actually, let's look at the readme.txt, very important. So it tells you all the stuff. And the reason why it says port forward on 20059 and 20060 is because this one's the port that Iminium, sends data to, and 20060 is the one it transmits from. Well, it receives from. Now you may ask, well, why can't I just why can't I put forward 20059 on TCP and UDP? Good question. I don't know. It's actually because they use a different protocol or something like that to transmit it back and forth. Probably safer. So it's going to tell you your username, password, which is why I told you the password. The salt. This is like authentication, and the port. So again, you could change the ports. Here, you should change back there though. That'd be a smart idea. So we should probably put this off to the side, actually. Oh, why did I close it? We should put this off to the side because we'll need it later. And now we're gonna get a couple things here. You want to open up the plugins folder and copy these into your server plugins folder. Don't replace it; it'll delete all your plugins. It's not a good thing. Plugins and paste. Let's go back, and the toolkit. I'm pretty sure it goes in the plugins again. And same thing for the arcadekit.jar. Now it'll give you a few start options. I don't think you really need to use these. You can just leave them here if you really want to, because we already have one. But the normal ones, they start server.mac, Linux, and Windows. Those are the ones that started with the arcade toolkit. If you had that checked, I'm not sure why. But there's one problem with that. Whenever you try to type in stop to stop the server, it stops it and then it automatically starts it, and then you have to force quit and it gets kind of messy. But we don't really need any of those. So now let's go over and run our server. Wrong one, again. Here we go. Makes it a bit bigger again. And if it works, we should not get any error messages. It worked, apparently. So let's jump over to my phone and see how this is going. So as you can see, I have already downloaded the Iminium application, and now let's fire it up. And it'll give me a list of servers that I already have. But none of these are the ones that I actually have on there, and let's just add it. So let's do, I have everything installed. This is the name of the server. You can name anything you want, like Bukkit. Next, on the IP, the external IP, don't define any ports here. Like since we've port forwarded on 25569, we port forwarded the port on 25569. Don't put the port there. It'll automatically recognize it by the Iminium port. So let's do 108. 118.197. The port that you defined in the config.yml. I'm sorry about that. You can leave that blank if you didn't change it. Username, server. Password, server. Or whatever you put. And the salt, again, the authentication, mine is 4D612. And there you go. So let's try connecting. Ta-da! We're connected. So as you can see, it tells you the server, how many people are on. It doesn't refresh automatically. You have to tap the refresh button if you want the player count to go up. You can disable any plugins you want from here in case they're not working. You can get the push notifications. So like when somebody just comes /call in, you'll get a notification. You can set all these if you want. Smart idea to set the server logs though, but anyway, I'll disable that. the call admin history. It's a new thing with Iminium on the server. If somebody does /call admin just to get plea for help, tells you the server version. It tells you the power management. You can like stop it or restart it. You can reload the server configuration, basically /reload. You can edit any files on the server. This is a really useful feature if there's like a bug in here. You can chat in the chat. You might want to change your name because the default one is is remote user. It doesn't sound very official. And the map, if you have Dynmap installed and enabled, you can just type in your IP :8123. I don't really have it right now. You can view the online players, you can view the banned players, you can ban people, you can view whitelisted players and offline players. Now, there's a couple of really cool features of this, because you can modify the inventory of the player wirelessly, wirelessly and from your phone, which is amazing in my opinion. You can do that, you can set hearts, you can view their exact location, you can do so much, you can teleport them, it's amazing. So this app and plugin is definitely worth it. Plugins in, we can do the command /plugins, and there we go. We have 10 plugins actually. We have the Vault plugin, which we installed to work with these I forget which one, but they work with the iConomy we just installed. We've recently installed the Mobbounty Reloaded in iConomy a couple seconds ago. We got the Remote Toolkit plugin along with the JSON API and Adminium. The auto announcer we installed first, actually a bit after we install the essential stuff. So I'll show you first the Mobbounty Reloaded. So let's set the time to night. And then let's spawn a mob. /spawn mob space on whatever mob zombie. So if I kill the zombie with my sword, well, it lags. Now it says in the chat, you've been awarded $21 for killing a zombie. So if we do /help, we get a couple new items. The ones in red represent the plugin itself. So we can do /help, Mobbounty Reloaded. And it'll give you all the stuff. So we can do /Mobbounty. And then we can view all the prices for everything. So we can see creepers give you 57 bucks. That's a bit pricey, but then again, I could kind of understand. Electronic creepers give you 69, hee. And you can actually alter these in the configuration file. And also, if you may have noticed, I have these tools in my inventory here. These are by default a kit with essentials. You can also change that in the config. The config's like a couple hundred lines, so you may want to read all of them before you start installing a massive amount of plugins without reading them. It's probably a bad idea. So now let's check out the second plugin, iConomy. So to find out your money, you can do /money, and that'll tell you how much money you have. You can do /balance as well, and it'll give you the same amount. I think the balance won't come to the essentials, I'm not sure. Anyway, so we could do /help, iConomy. Can't type and spell. So basically we could do money help. Oops. And it'll give you all the stuff. It's an you get a bunch more. So /money checks your balance. You could do money name to check other people's balances. Money help, and you could get help on individual commands rather than looking through this. You can pay people. You can create accounts. You can remove accounts. You can give people money. You could take people's money. The second one's kind of fun. You can set balances, which is kind of like a combination of both. You can find the status, like if they're active or not. You can purge all accounts. That's like a bank going bankrupt, which is rather ironic, and emptying database all accounts. Now here's a really fun one. You could do /money space top, and then you can find out all the wealthiest accounts. So if I create a new account, the command here says money create, and I could just call it, what is it, Bob or something really like that. So we could do money top. It'll give us the first 5, since Bob's default, he gets automatically 30 bucks. Of course, you can change that in configuration file as well. So just to so we could show a couple of the other commands. We could do /money, give Bob 10, and it'll give 10 bucks. Money, so we can just do money top again, and it'll say now he has 40 bucks instead of 30. Now you can alter with this a lot by doing money. What is it? Money, pay your name, and then just do 9999999 all the way down, and just keep pressing it. I'm sorry I can't hold it down. I didn't disable that feature in Lion. By the way, I'm going to post one on that soon. God, I have a lot of ones coming up. So we can just do that and then do money. Oh well, won't let me send money. Apparently, we can kill them in the mob as well. So again, in the configuration file, which you can configure all these things. So that's the tutorial on the plugin. So now I'll talk to you guys soon and hope you enjoyed.
It's Twilight Sparkle's balloon!